was a book that was sent to me by Stephanie Miller. It was called Salvage. She sent me her book. That's how we actually became friends. I was so impacted by her writing and the story that I ended up following her on Twitter and DMing her and saying, hey, do you want to chat about this? Because I love your book. And the book changed my life as a reader, but then changed my life as I'm now an author, and we're dear friends and business partners, and now we have our own book to get to share with the world.
I was obsessed with A Wrinkle in Time and A Wind in the Doors, especially. When I was in 4th grade, we got to choose our own spelling words, and I chose tesseract and all of the other weird science words and made up words as well from that book.
The first book was Joy Luck Club. It was the first time I had ever seen a family like mine on the pages of a book. I actually related to that book in kind of like a visceral way. I cried, I laughed.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, probably because I literally was trying to find Narnia for years after reading that book, so it made me realize just how powerful books are.
I am a huge fan of Junot Diaz's The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I think it's the first time I ever saw my experience on paper.
It was actually a series, the Felicity the American Girl series. Reading it, it encompassed me in that world of Revolutionary War America, and all of my earliest novel type books were set in Revolutionary War America, and I knew way more about Revolutionary War than any 11, 12-year-old should. But just the characters and the storyline and everything, it really got me inspired and to see what could be done with novels.
The Percy Jackson series in 5th grade really just made me fall in love with reading. I remember reading the first one and then I couldn't put them down, and I read every single one, and as soon as the last one came out, I bought it and read it in one day. And there were some summers where I read 20 books over the summer. I would just sit and read, and that's really what kicked it off.
I had a little kids edition of The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. First, I read Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, this is it! He's so cool, the way he figures everything out, and I've been a mystery buff ever since, and I was probably 4, so I've been sort of hanging on that image of the glowing dog ever since.
Les Miserables. I read it when I was 14, and there were definitely parts of it that I was too young to understand, but after I read it, I just was blown away by how connected I felt to all of the characters, even though we were of different time periods and genders and social classes. And I think it was the first time I saw the power that books have to universalize the human experience.
First book that changed my life was My Friend the Monster by Clyde Robert Beulah. That book was the first time I just felt drawn into a story and that it spoke to me, and I stayed up all night reading it, and I had to keep hiding my light every time I could hear Mom go by, and it was wonderful, and it changed me, and it was the book that made a reader out of me.